Hello everyone, this is Fantasy Ask and welcome back to Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had a litter of ginger and black kittens born to King Fernstar and his mate and consort, Inkfeather. So we had Fox Kit, oh my goodness, Hound Kit, and the middle child, whose name I totally remember, Ghost Kit. There we go. But these triplets, they are very special to us, especially because they have within their numbers a female in Hound Kit, and so we are going to be putting all of our resources into raising Hound Kit over the next 12 moons so that when she becomes a young adult, she can be matched up for the next litter. So yes, she is pivotal in the growth of our clan. Also, something I forgot to do in the last episode, but I went ahead and did off camera, was go through the histories of the youngsters and put in the fact that they are the carriers of one royal bloodline from the fourth founding royal, which is their father. So in terms of hierarchy, status, I feel like these kids would probably have the lowest amongst the royals. And funnily enough, Frostpaw and Quillpaw would have the highest, because Frostpaw, in terms of pedigree, because Frostpaw and Quillpaw, they carry 3 royal bloodlines, 2 from their mother, 1 from their father, whereas the new kittens that were born, they only carry 1 royal bloodline from their father. So that's the thing with breeding in nobility, is that their children, in terms of status, have a little bit of a disadvantage. But that's okay, this is still very important to us because of Hound Kit. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let us jump straight to the leader's den, and now it seems Fernstar is in a good enough mood to be able to do his own gatherings, or attend his own gatherings on his own. Yeah, that makes sense. Attend gatherings on his own. Let's roll the dice to see how he's going to handle this. Okay, I got a 3 on the D10, which is Liar Clan, and 1 on the D8, which is Offend. And I'm excited to see what the kittens are going to look like with their eyes open. I have an inkling of who my favorite's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Hound Kit, just because, I don't know what it is, but I have realized I really like the single stripe pelt. I know a lot of you guys like torties. If you guys have actually any, whether it's a tortie or not, if you have a favorite type of pelt, let me know. I have noticed in myself that whenever there's a kitten in the litter with single stripe, a lot of the times they tend to become my favorite. So I don't know, I think I like the single stripe pelt, which Hound Kit has. But as I usually say, we won't know until they open up their eyes, because that tends to change their appearance quite a bit. So let's go ahead and skip a moon. Royal Clan does not have enough healthy medicine cats. Cats will be sick/hurt for longer and have a higher chance of dying. During the gathering, King Fernstar sighs loudly whenever Liar Clan's leader speaks. Liar Clan relations have worsened. Shade Fleck has gotten yellow cough. Inkfeather's bruises are gone. Kittens? Oh, they're so precious though. They're so precious. Is it me, or does Ghost Kit look a lot like Bear Pelt? I feel like Ghost Kit looks a lot like Bear Pelt. He has the same eyes, he has similar coat. Very interesting. But we have Fox Kit over here, who has retained his bullying personality, who's constantly climbing. Pale green eyes, Bengal. He looks like he is, he looks like a very striking cat, doesn't he? That coat and eye combo, very striking. Then we have his brother Ghost Kit, who has he retained, I think he's retained his fearlessness, oddly observant. Yeah, he looks to me a lot like Bear Pelt with those eyes and that black fur, doesn't he? He does. And then we have Hound Kit, who has retained her unruliness. She's quick-witted and a lover of stories. Oh, she's adorable. She is adorable, guys. I don't know, I'm conflicted, but I think the single stripe pelt. I think she has won me over. Sometimes I change who my favorite is, depending as they grow up and their appearances change. But I think Hound Kit might just end up being my favorite. Not only because of appearance, but also because she does have this huge thing as at this point, the most important female in the clan, and she's going to be raised to have the next litter. Basically, she has a very important destiny, right? So I kind of feel like Hound Kit might just be the kitten that I keep my eyes on. And it would be even better if she became the first ever princess that we've had. Like, that would be amazing. But okay, let's jump to the medicine cat den. Icicle Speck was given time as treatment for grief-stricken. Flailstorm was given time as treatment for grief-stricken. Shining Stripe was given time as treatment for grief-stricken. Flare Freckle was given time as treatment for grief-stricken. Bear Pelt was given time as treatment for grief-stricken. Ink Feather's bruises went away. Ink Feather was given Ragwort as treatment for recovering from birth. Now let's take a look at our relationships. King Fernstar saved a piece of fresh kill that he knows is Fox Kit's favorite. Oh, that's so cute. That is his favorite son, so I can see why he's giving a little bit of extra love and attention to him. King Fernstar is inspired by Bear Pelt's passion. Scorchmoss appreciates Frostpaw's helpful attitude. Scorchmoss has had a lot of good dreams about Hound Kit lately. Icicle Speck thinks Fox Kit was nice to him today. Icicle Speck sighs at the mere mention of Ghost Kit. What's that about? Flailstorm apologized to Smokewater for being rude the other day. I mean, Ghost Kit, he's, fearless. He's fearless. Fox Kit is, bullying. And then the sister's unruly. Okay. They all, to me, feel like very independent kittens. Like, usually when we have a bullying kitten in the litter, they have meek siblings that they can kind of push over, but I feel like Ghost Kit is fearless, so Fox Kit can't really push over his younger brother, and the younger sister is unruly, so like she's never in one place long enough for him to be able to bully her, you know? She's always like on the move and creating chaos as she goes. So, yeah, they all seem like strong personalities to me. Okay. Flailstorm listens to Icicle Speck and make big plans for the day. Hold on a second, back up. Flailstorm apologized to Smokewater for being rude the other day. Flare Freckle gives up on trying to reassure Smokewater. About what, I wonder? About what? Smokewater hears Hound Kit purring during a nap. Shining Stripe can't stand being around Icicle Speck. That's his mate. That he's in love with. What's going on with these two? Shining Stripe notices one of his friends talking to Ghost Kit. Flare Freckle stands up for King Fernstar on a border patrol when confronted by another clan. A cloud parts over Flare Freckle and Hound Kit, shining a light on them. They interpret this as a sign that they're meant for great things soon. Okay, typically whenever this happens, I like to imagine that the two cats, especially when it's a kid and an older cat, they have it in their heads, like they've decided that they want each other to be like their mentor / apprentice. So Flare Freckle, it's like they have received a sign, they think from StarClan, that they should be in a mentor-mentee, you know, mentor-apprentice relationship. So Flare Freckle, she's kind of got Hound Kit in her head. She's set Hound Kit aside to be her own apprentice. And so if she gets anyone else, if she's assigned anyone else from that litter, she's going to be very disappointed. And Hound Kit, likewise, has decided that Flare Freckle has to be her mentor. And if she gets assigned to anyone else, she's going to be disappointed. And this is actually very interesting because we know that Flare Freckle, from a young age, not since birth, but like since she was an adolescent, she grew up knowing she had kind of the fate of the clan in her little paws. And that as soon as she became a young adult, she would be matched up. But, you know, she kind of took her time with that. And we were saying that Flare Freckle was hesitant to have a bigger litter because she didn't want daughters. She didn't want her daughters to go through the same thing that she did. But then, from a noble, yes, but we have another female born in the clan. And Flare Freckle feels this responsibility to be the one to guide Hound Kit into this world that she is going to have a huge role to play in. And likewise, Hound Kit, for some reason, feels drawn to Flare Freckle as a mentor. Very interesting. Ink Feather and Bear Pelt have a misunderstanding that makes them grumpy for the rest of the day. Fox Kit didn't put a lot of thought into an answer for Bear Pelt's question. Shade Fleck turned to Smokewater in a time of need, only for Smokewater to abandon him. That's not too good. Ink Feather and Quillpaw cuddle during a storm. That is adorable. Very, very cute. Even though, they have no relation. But that's very considerate of Quillpaw. Quillpaw, who, let me remind myself. Is he no, his brother's the bold one. He is the loyal one. Okay, maybe he feels a sense of responsibility towards the king's consort. Let's see. Hound Kid helps Inkfeather fix a matted piece of fur on her back. That's so cute, some mother-daughter bonding. The clan feels uneasy whenever Quillpaw and Ghost Kid speak to each other. Okay. For a moment, Frostpaw thought Shining Stripe sounded like someone else. Shining Stripe tries to convince Fox Kid that an obvious lie is real. Fox Kid gives Ghost Kid a big piece of fresh kill. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Fox Kid is a bit of a bully, but it seems as though he doesn't bully his siblings. Maybe he would bully some of the older cats, but he doesn't bully his siblings. In fact, he looks out for his younger brother, and his fearless younger brother, and gives him a lot of food. That's cute. Hound Kid mews congratulations to Smokewater for a job well done, and that is all we have for events. So let me cut the recording here and continue in the cat list. Okay, let's resume with the cat list. So first up, we have loyalties, where nothing has really changed. Everything is the same as it was in the last episode. So let's go through the relationship panels for the cats, do a quick scan, and I will let you guys know about what I noticed. There was, I think, just one thing with one of the cats I noticed, but we'll start off with Fernstar. So there was nothing really that I caught over here. And you know what? I've been thinking about this, but I feel like since I consider the green bars as friendships, I feel like if a cat has just a red bar for someone, that should be their enemy. I mean, you don't always have to go to war with your enemy or kill your enemy, but I feel like they would view this cat as an enemy, And I've also had kind of rivals. We have rivals without hatreds, so I don't think that would be it. But I've also had situations in the past where cats have had green and red bars for someone. So that tells me, depending on which came first, either they're a friend they start to hate, or they're an enemy they start to respect, something like that. But for now, I think Fernstar kind of views Flailstorm as an enemy. They have unresolved issues, obviously, from the whole Buttercup Fin fiasco, and I don't think Fernstar being possessive over Buttercup Fin's body helped. But anyways, I said there was nothing, and yet I had so much to say. Scorchmoss, nothing I noticed of significance here. Flailstorm, nothing I noticed which was different for him. Icicle Speck, nothing really over here either. Inkfeather, nothing of note with her. Bearpelt, nothing of note with him. And Shining Stripe, which is where I had my one note. So guys, Shining Stripe has fallen out of love with Icicle Speck, which is kind of wild. And I sat here for 5 minutes trying to figure out why this was the case, because even when I was looking through, the history, the most recent thing that's happened is Shining Stripe can't stand being around Icicle Speck, and nothing really much else to give me an indicator of what might have gone wrong. Now, I think what happened is that in the last episode, if you remember, I think Bearpelt and Shadefleck got together. They became a couple. And Shining Stripe obviously is going to be really happy for his brother and for Shadefleck, right? But I think when Icicle Speck got the news, Icicle Speck didn't react in the way that Shining Stripe expected. Icicle Speck wasn't happy with their match. He wasn't happy with them being together. And I think when that happened, Shining Stripe just suddenly realized that the relationship that he had been wanting with Icicle Speck is not the relationship he is in. Obviously, they're still together, but Shining Stripe, as a righteous cat who's been very faithful to just, Icicle Speck from the get-go, even when it comes to just liking someone, I think he expected that, I think he knew, obviously, that Icicle Spec, he was in that love triangle, but I think he expected that once Icicle Spec said yes to him, he would forget about the other two and put all of his effort into this relationship. But I think after seeing Icicle Spec's reaction, Shining Stripe has realized that Icicle Spec is still holding on to pieces of the other two, which he never resolved, and that might be why Icicle Spec can't let himself fall in love with the Shining Stripe, because he's exploring but he's not fully invested. And I think that's not what Shining Stripe wanted, and that's changed his perspective on Icicle Spec a little bit, and he has fallen out of love. And I'm just noticing, guys, Icicle Spec has gone from loyal to responsible? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When did this happen? When he became matchmaker? I don't know. That's so fascinating. That is so fascinating. But I wonder, like, Shining Stripe, he was expecting Icicle Spec to be a certain way, but I mean, Icicle Spec was loyal before, right? So that's what Shining Stripe thought, that he would be loyal to him and their relationship. But that wasn't the case. Anyways, that's fascinating. Do you guys know why or when he might have changed to be more responsible? Like, I'm not entirely sure, I can't remember, but I'm just noticing that. So that's it for Shining Stripe. I didn't notice anything different for Flare Freckle, neither for Shade Fleck over here. And then we have Frost Paw, Quill Paw, Smoke Water, I didn't notice anything different. And then we have the little kittens. And that is all for the relationship panel. So now, since we don't have any matchmaking to do, and even if we did, we wouldn't be able to because the matchmaker's down, let's just see what everyone's doing for the day. King Fanstar thought he saw a cat, but turns out it's a two-leg object that just looks like one. Scorchmoss is curious about the other clans. Flillstorm plays with some wind-swept cat mint. It's kind of cute. Icicle Spec is thinking about his life choices. I wonder if, I mean, he's responsible, he's thinking about life choices. I wonder if Shining Stripe lashing out at him at a time when maybe Icicle Spec is grieving as well would have been a huge enough impact to make Icicle Spec like introspective and think that being loyal is not good enough. He needs to be responsible for himself and his actions and his feelings as well. I don't know, maybe. Inkfeather is determined to protect her loved ones, now more so than ever. Bearpelt sneezes when a snowflake landed on his nose, and I think for like Inkfeather, now seeing the kittens, having the kittens here, has solidified for her even more that she is now truly a member of the grotto, truly a member of a royal clan, even if it is as nobility, and she's gonna do everything to protect her kittens because they are her way of life. Now, because she has like given birth to a litter, that for the life, like for the remainder of her life, has given her a ticket into the grotto. So even if something tragic happens, like she loses her entire litter, she's never gonna be kicked out because her litter, they have added to the grand family tree of the royals, right? Even if something happens to them, they were still here. They still made their mark. They're still gonna go to Star Clan. And so Inkfeather will never be kicked out, regardless of what happens to the king or to the kittens. She's earned her place by doing the clan the service of growth. Okay, Bearpelt, I already read this. Shining Stripe took a nap in the clearing and woke up under a blanket of snow. Flare Freckle is cracking jokes, because that's the only way I think that she can deal with all of the grief. Shade Fleck saw some wandering two-legs today. Frostpaw reports something to Scorchmoss. Quillpaw is listening to his mentor intently. Look at that, look at that. Smokewater is snoring loudly in his sleep. Foxkid is making a mean face at Houndkit. Foxkid, you were being nice to your brother. Why are you bullying your sister? Why are you bullying your sister? Ghostkid is trying to force his way into being allowed to guard camp, and Houndkid is daydreaming. Okay, it's fine, guys. He can't really bully her because she's not affected by anything. Oh, Hound Kid, I love you. Okay, so that's what we have for the cats. Oh, before I forget, we need to see how the apprentices are doing, especially because their mentors haven't been able to give them a lot of attention. So Frostpaw was kind of in the lead up until this point. Let's see if anything's changed. No, Frostpaw is still in the lead. Okay. He has 15 experience and his brother has 14. So Quillpaw is actually really, really close. But so far, it seems as though Frostpaw is in line to get the title of Prince. Okay. So let's end, I'll cut the recording here, and then we are going to pick up in patrols. Oh my goodness, look at how things are. Like, look at our prey count. We are so, like, we're just getting by, guys. We're just getting by. We have 30.6 prey. We need 30.5. So literally, like, we're just by 0.1. We are just ahead by 0.1. But okay, let's continue with patrols. We are going to be sending out... Oh, wait, we don't have our physician. That's right, the physician is not doing so well. Okay, so I guess we're just going to have our patrol of 4. And since we didn't have a notice in events, even though it's really close, we're not actually going to focus on a hunting patrol. We're just going to send Quillpaw, Frostpaw, Scorchmoss, and Fernstar out on a random patrol, and we'll see what they get up to. Fernstar wanders past an old badger set in the roots of a hazelnut tree, only to freeze. There's a new scent here, acrid and sour. Proceed. Well, the only way to know is to check. Frostpaw scrambles into the den for a look and comes nose to nose with its occupant. It's only by the grace of Star Clan that he's able to redirect that speed and twist around just as fast, shedding fur in clumps as the badger's furious snarling and fizzing follows him up the burrow tunnel. Frostpaw, can we not get into dangerous situations like this? Fernstar, what kind of directions are these? What are you doing? You need to be responsible for the youngsters when they're with you, please. But I suppose, when we don't have any mentors, nobody's really taking responsibility. They're just, like, observing and trying to get as much experience as possible. The apprentices are responsible for themselves when they don't have any mentors around. But okay. Thankfully, everything managed to, like, get by just fine. But, for sure, we are going to have a lot of work to do in terms of hunting in the next episode, and this is kind of concerning because we don't really have a lot of cats that can participate in hunting. And in the past, if you guys remember Luminous Clan, the way Luminous Clan died out in Season 4 was actually through starvation and hunger. We lost a very important cat at a very pivotal moment. First, we were dying out because we weren't having litters. Our litters were really tiny. We were only having single kittens. And then, at a pivotal moment, even though we got, like, I think, a litter of 3, we had 3 kittens, but then a very important old cat died, and everyone in the clan went into mourning, and no one was able to hunt. We ran out of food, and then the cats were starving, getting sick, couldn't hunt, more deaths, more mourning. It was a vicious cycle until, like, everyone died. So I'm scared when I see this many mourning cats, and I know we're about to get hungry. Hopefully, though, they'll be able to figure themselves out. You know, at least we have, like, the apprentices and Fernstar and Scorchmoss who are seemingly in good mood. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I'm gonna leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.